Uh, Hello, everybody. Hello, dear friends. My name is Arman Yerzhanov. I'm a FIDE master, and today I'm going to comment a very interesting chess event. It is a chess match against a junior Moscow team and a junior team of Beirut. Beirut is the capital of Lebanon. But before we start commenting, I would like to listen to the words of the president of Moscow Chess Federation, Sergei Lazarev, and also the member of chess club from Livan, Hussein Hamud.
Уважаемые коллеги, друзья, любители шахмат, здравствуйте, меня зовут Хусейн Хамуд, я председатель шахматного клуба выпускников советских и российских вузов, а также я член Ливанской шахматной федерации, отвечаю за школьный сектор. Наш шахматный клуб уже существует более 15 лет. С первых дней мы начали тренировать наших детей. Они достигли больших успехов в чемпионате страны, в арабских чемпионатах и даже в чемпионатах мира. При нашем клубе есть команда шахматная, которая сражается за титул чемпиона Ливана среди команд. Кубки за мной этому свидетель. Мы проводим шахматные турниры в честь национальных праздников России и Ливана, в том числе Дня Победы, Дня защитников Отечества, Дня российского дипломата. Мы тесно сотрудничаем с Российским культурным центром в Ливане. Очень много ливанцев приходят к нам, не имеющие никакое отношение к России. Они восхищены нашей культурой, нашим клубом. Я считаю, что шахматный клуб играет большую роль в развитии отношений между ливанским и российским народами. Желаю вам успехов, счастья и много побед на шахматной арене. До свидания.
Дорогие друзья, приветствую участников и гостей международной онлайн-встречи. Мы искренне рады, что этот матч проходит на официальном интернет-сайте Московской шахматной федерации. Шахматы имеют долгую историю и стали неотъемлемой частью мирового спортивного движения, отражением национальных и культурных традиций разных стран, в которых он развивается. Сегодня шахматы – это не только спорт, но и образ жизни миллионов людей во всем мире. По сути, шахматы – это философия, которая позволяет стать внимательным, ответственным, вдумчивым человеком. Мы знаем, что онлайн и офлайн шахматы сильно отличаются друг от друга, но все они имеют одну общую черту – побеждает сильнейший. Искренне желаю участникам встречи удачного выступления, удачи всем и побед сильнейшим. Делаю первый ход. Ваш ход.
Yeah, let me continue, and before we start commenting, let me say a big thank you to all people with the help of whom this match was organized. Because from my point of view, nowadays it is very important to have practice of chess, and this match helps young players to become better, and that's why all people who helped to organize this match, we should say a big thank you to these people. Also, I would like to say that during this match, I have at least three aims. The first aim, of course, I want to comment the games between chess players, between young chess players. The second aim, as a professional chess coach, I also would like to give you some practical advices. And if you follow this advice, I hope you will be able to improve your chess level. And also, my aim is to answer the question how chess helps in life. Because, for example, the book of Garry Kasparov, which is called Chess as a Model of Life. And in this book, Kasparov tells us how chess can help ordinary people to be successful not only during the game but also in real life. Also, on my own example, I will show you how chess helped me in my life. Okay, the game started. For example, we can see the first game. It's a Spanish opening, and the players played fast. So I think they know this opening by heart. Yes, and I think that the white is slightly better. They have a center. Also, from my own experience, I want to say that blitz games are very interesting. To tell you honestly, I prefer classical games because from my point of view, classical games are very useful in terms of your growth. But blitz game is also good because it's very interesting to play blitz games. So I advise you to be able to play not only classical games, but also blitz games in order to improve your motivation. Okay, now the white is finishing their development, the black also. Position is slightly better for white because they have better center. Also, in these games, it's very important to have good vision of the board. Your main aim is not to find best games. Your aim is to have no blunders, no mistakes. Okay, now there were some exchanges of bishops. So probably now it's time to improve the position of rooks because both sides develop their knights and bishops. Now it's time to improve the position of the queen and rooks. Probably now the white thinks too much. I think so because from my own experience, I want to say that in a blitz game you need to play quickly. So if you think on one move, maybe more than 1 minute, probably you can come to the time trouble. That's why you should think a lot during blitz game, only when the position is very important and critical to you. Also, I want to open one of my, not secret, but my advice is that if the position is simple, try to play fast. And if the position is complicated and difficult, then you can think more. So there is no reason to think more when the position is easy. Now there is a chance to do the discover check on f6, but it will be blunder. If the white play knight f6 check, then it will be knight e8 beats on f6. But okay, all parties saw this trap. Now the knight is in danger, and the white temporarily has extra piece, but they need to protect the knight because the queen attacks the knight. Anyway, the white is better because they have better development. Okay, let's see maybe other games because in this game I think that the white has better chances to win. Probably let's try to see other games. For example, let's see, just a moment. Let's see this game. Probably this game will be more interesting. Okay. Now, again, it is opening. Probably d6. The black should play d6 in order to pop f5. It's a dangerous move, a little bit. If I were black, I would play d6 and then developed my bishop on g4 and then knight d4 because the white didn't finish their development to the end and they tried to open the game. So I think that the black play a little bit too optimistic from my point of view. You can see on c8 bishop, and the c8 bishop is weak. He has no squares. He cannot play. So, it's a blunder, very easy blunder. What I'm saying, the white missed the queen in one move. So, what I said before. It's when you play blitz game, your main aim is to have no simple mistakes. There is no aim to do the best moves. The main aim is to have no mistakes. So if you want to be good in blitz, you need to try to do no mistakes. So let me give you a good advice. For example, some of you probably plays on chess.com. And chess.com divide all your moves into several categories. Best moves, good moves, normal moves, inaccuracies, mistakes, and blunders. And your aim is, in order to be successful in Blitz, your aim is to have no blunders and no mistakes. I want to ask everybody a question. What is better? To play 10 best moves and after that one big mistake? Or to play just 11 not best but good moves and no mistakes at all? What would be better? Believe me, that the right answer that it's much better to play just 11 just 11 good moves without no mistakes. Just imagine you played 10 best moves and then missed the queen. Then the game is over. Despite of your best games before, one very bad move can ruin your position. That's why when you play Blitz, be sure that you don't do big mistakes in one or two moves. So I think there is no reason to look at this position because the black has extra queen, and of course, definitely, I'm sure that the black must win here. Okay, let's see another game. I think that in this game, everything is clear. Baranov Yaroslav play one side. Oh, it's a very, very famous trap. What we see here, we cannot play. Just a moment. It's another game. It's a Queen Gambit. Just we can see the first moves. Yes, exchange variation of Slav defense. Yes, both parties play fast. Yes, I think they will play knight f3, a short castle, maybe a rook c1. Yes, it's also possible. And in this game, we can see, yes, English opening, starting move. Both players play fast. Okay, I think we can see weak square on d4. Probably black can play, okay, another game. Oh, interesting choice of the opening. f4 is a rare guest between professional chess players. e6. Also, okay, I would like to recommend, as I said before, besides commenting this chess event, I also said that I would like to give you some practical advices how you can improve your chess game. And also I said that I will tell you why it is very useful to play chess. Okay, let's start from the question why it is so good. I think all of you understands why it is good. And first of all, of course, chess develops your brains, so it is very useful for your memory. Besides that, chess, with the help of chess, you can become a very person with not only with good memory, but the person who has a high level of concentration. Also, I think one of the major advantages of chess, it is also, as you know, there is, for example, in Kiev, Ernesta is a very famous grandmaster, and he tells that chess is very important because it helps you to do right decisions. Okay, in this game, the black just missed the double attack. But okay, Arkiv says that chess is very good because it helps you to do right decisions, because it is some kind of every your move is your decision, and it means that during the game you have a choice how to play, and if each your decision is your choice, and if you can be successful in decision-making process during the game, you also can make good decisions in real life. That's why, on my own example, I want to say that chess is good because you can have a lot of friends, and my best friends, they are also all chess players. Okay, let's look at the board. You can see that again, black had a lot of mistakes. They are without several pieces, and of course, in this position, the white is going to win because they have extra material. But of course, you know that the common rule is that when you have extra material, you need to do a lot of changes. For example, if you have extra queen or extra rook or extra bishop or extra knight, try to change other pieces. And vice versa, if you lack of some piece, try to escape changes of pieces. Okay, let's see another game. I think that in this game, the white is going to win. Probably we can see another game. Probably it will be more interesting. So, okay, turning back to the question of why we should play chess, let me answer it on my own example. For example, I began playing chess when I was around maybe 8 years old. I think nowadays it's too late. I think even some chess players finishing their career at this age. Of course, it's a joke, but sometimes it can happen. I began playing chess at around 8 years old, when I was 8 years old. Then at the age of 9 years, I went to the chess club. And at 11, I had the first grade. But it's not about this. What I want to say that with the help of chess, I understand how to deal with competition. Because when I had to enter the university, I had to compete with other people. And because I had a huge experience, a big experience, how to be successful during chess competition, I was psychologically ready to deal with this competition during entering into university. So another advantage of chess is that with the help of chess, one can learn how to deal with honest competition. Also, chess helps to control your emotions, because it doesn't matter whether it is chess or real life, you need to be able to control your emotions. But okay, let's see a few games. Maybe I will continue later. But let's see this game. But okay, this game is also, how to say it? Everything is clear here. The white has extra rook, and of course, the white is going to win. So when you play blitz, just of course this try to have at least one aim: have no mistakes. If you have no mistakes, you can be successful in blitz. And when your opponent will miss you something, just punish him and win him. I hope there is some games where all players had no big mistakes. Then if you find this game, of course, it will be much more interesting to look. Because if one side has extra rook or extra queen, maybe it's not so interesting to comment, because the strategy is very simple, just to change all your pieces. And after that, you will win if you have extra material. Okay. What else can I say? Just a moment. Maybe some games finished. I think so. Yes. And also, let me say what will, besides this interesting match, after this match, there will be another very interesting match, maybe around in 2 hours. The Moscow junior team will play against junior team of Israel. And to be more clear, it will be Ramat Gan city. Ramat Gan is the city of Israel, and Moscow junior team will play against the players from Ramat Gan. And tomorrow, Moscow young players will play against chess players from Johannesburg. Johannesburg is the capital of south of South Africa. So I think that Moscow chess players must be very happy because they have a lot of opportunities to practice their chess skills with chess players from different countries. Okay, let's see this game, for example. I think, what do we have here? Maybe let's see from the start. Oh, Black played rather well at the beginning. Yes, I like this game because, okay, G3 is also a possible move. Yes, I think I like the game, how Black is playing now. I think that this game is good. It's who plays it post-mat against Arkadan. Now we can see that now in this position, the white has weak squares on G3. Probably Bishop G3 is a good move. I think Bishop, they want to do the checkmate. Probably Bishop G3, it will be checkmate. Now the Black must win after Bishop G3. What is it? A sacrifice before to do checkmate? Maybe it was just, okay, Bishop G3, good move. And probably Arkadan decided to sacrifice the queen before to do the checkmate. Yes, I think this game was interesting. Also, what I want to say, it's very important to analyze your games. Even if it is a blitz game, I strongly advise you analyze all the games which you play. Yes, in this game, Black sacrifice a pawn in order to have an attack on the white king. Yes, I think here the Black can win immediately by the move Bishop G3 checkmate. Okay, interesting game. Well, I'm happy that this game happened. This maybe, let's see other games. What else can we see here? Okay, let's see this game. Let's start from the beginning, from the opening. E4, knight f6. It's yes, okay. So the white has good center. Okay, interesting. So in this position, the white on the one hand has a strong center. On the other hand, the Black tries to attack this center. Probably the white played Bishop E2, then they will finish their development. So we can say that in this position, the white has an advantage in space. And let me tell you one of the rules. According to the coach of Mark Dvoretsky, I don't know whether you heard about this coach or not, but from my point of view, Mark Dvoretsky was one of the best chess coaches in the world. Even some people think that Mark Dvoretsky even was the best one. Probably it's also true, but at least really he was at least one of the best chess coaches in the world. And according to Mark Dvoretsky, when you have an advantage in space, you need to escape changes. And vice versa, if you have too little space, try to change your pieces. Because if you change your pieces, it will be much easier for you to deal with the situation when you have too little space. Okay, in this position, if I played Black, b6 is a good move, maybe before. The white should play before in order to, yes, before. If maybe a5 is possible, in order, but a3 you must play. Yes, I think this game is good. I think that both players play very reasonably. Yes, maybe we will see this game because I like how both players play here. Yes, and probably c5 pawn is a very uncomfortable pawn. So Yes, queen a5, queen a8 is a good move. Probably next move will be castle b8 is also possible. I mean, rook b8. b2 is a waste of time because after rook b8, the white has to play with the queen again. Probably the next move. What can we say about this position? That the white has a very good pawn on c5 because c5 is a passed pawn. But not only, besides the fact that c4 is a passed pawn, also c5 pawn. I think that the bishop e7 is very angry with the pawn c5. Probably in order to improve the position, sooner or later, the black maybe has to organize the e5 move, to do e5 move in order to improve their position. But okay, let's see some other games. If it was classical games, probably I would analyze these games more deeply. But when we speak about blitz games, we must understand that in blitz games, all chess players do a lot of mistakes. And I also very like the phrase of Alexander Grishuk. Alexander Grishuk is a legendary chess player. He's one of the best chess players in the world. Alexander Grishuk said a very interesting phrase. One journalist asked Alexander Grishuk how chess players play chess, and Alexander Grishuk said that everybody plays chess weak. And the journalist was then asked him the question, and do you play chess also weak? And Alexander Grishuk answered that, yes, I also play chess very weak. Not very weak, I also play chess weak. And then the journalist asked Grishuk, if you play chess weak, how can you win strong grandmasters and other chess players? And Grishuk answered, yes, I play chess weak, and I win other grandmasters because other chess players play even weaker than I. So if we compare, I think that there is some truth in his words, especially if we speak about blitz game. During blitz game, mistakes will happen anyway, and it is the game, I would say, who will have less mistakes. So if you want to be successful in blitz, just try to have no mistakes. As I said before, your aim is not to find best moves, but just to find good or normal moves and have no mistakes. But I like how in this game both players is playing, because as you can see that they played even more than 30 moves, and nobody missed even a pawn. So this game is good. I like the games when both players has equal material, and then it is a real fight. Because when we see a game, and when one player has extra queen, it is not interesting to watch such games. It's much more interesting to watch games when both players try to do their best and they have no big mistakes. So this game is very interesting because I think both players play relatively strong for their level. Also, what can I say? Of course, the white wants to promote their passed pawn on c6, and if they do it, probably they will win. In the end game, I think you know that in the end game there are two major rules. The first rule in the end game, that the king is a hero, and the second rule is that you should help your pawns to become queens. Oh, it's a mistake, because after this move, the black will win the knight. So yes, it's the first mistake. You see that before this move, the game was interesting, and the material was equal. But then finally the white lost the piece, and now the black must win. It is what I said before. During this game, the white played relatively good. I mean, maybe they had a lot of good moves, but it was the matter of only one move. And after this one bad move, the game was over. Somebody among great people told us that chess is a play when one mistake can lead you to the situation when you have to lose your game. So what I want to say to you is try to escape mistakes. I don't ask you to find best moves, just try to play without mistakes. Okay, it's a pity. It was such an interesting game, and one mistake influenced the result. Okay, let's see another games. What else can we see? To tell you honestly, of course, from the point of view of interest, of course, Blitz game is good. But if you want to improve your chess level, I strongly advise you to play classical games. What is classical games? Classical games is games with big time control, when you can think not just 5 minutes per game, but maybe 1 hour per game, 1 hour and a half. Because if you play these games, this game will be very useful for you. This game is also good, but it's not the main tool to improve your chess game. As a professional coach, what can I advise you to improve your game? No, first of all, I want to advise you to have right habits, to have the habits of successful chess player. And the habits of successful chess player, for example, is to, what can I advise you? For example, I can advise you to solve chess puzzles every day. For example, as for me, when I had a habit to solve chess puzzles every morning, at least 1 hour, when I did it during several months, my level of play was really good. When I stopped solving chess puzzles in the morning during 1 hour, during several weeks, during several months, my level of chess was going to drop, became weak. So the first rule is spend at least 1 hour per day to solve chess puzzles. Besides that, I also strongly recommend you to analyze your own games. And you know that the slogan of the FIDE, and I like the slogan very much, first think, then do. And also I would like to add even more. First think, then do, and then think what you did. And think what you did, it means analyze your game. So what I want to say, if you just play games and don't analyze them, your progress will not be too high. If you want to have maximum progress, of course play games, but also analyze these games. Try to understand where you could play better, what is the reason of your mistakes, and that's why ideally all your games must be analyzed. So the first advice, solve chess puzzles every day, chess combinations, chess tactics. At least, yes. The second advice, analyze all your games which you played. And the third advice is learn from masters. Learn classical games. For example, among all world champions, I strongly recommend you to learn games, to see games of Alexander Alekhin and Paul Morphy. As for me, I really like the games of these two great chess players. why I like these games, because on the one hand, their games are very interesting, and on the other hand, the games of Alexander Alekhin and Paul Morphy are very useful. Let me say a few words about Paul Morphy. Paul Morphy was born in 19th century, and he was born in the United States of America, but it's not about this. It's about his game. He was the real master of open games. His favorite strategy was to sacrifice a pawn or a piece in order to have better development and to have an attack on the opponent king. And with the help of his games, one can learn how to play in open games. Also, I like the games of Alexander Alekhin, not because he was the first Russian world champion, but also because his games are very interesting and very beautiful. So how can you learn? Just, for example, buy a book or buy a book with the games of Alexander Alekhin or Paul Morphy, and from there, and then try not just to see their moves, but try to guess their best moves. It's also a very important habit when you not just to watch something, but try to guess. Just try to play as a world champion played. Try to guess the moves of world champion. This is why my third advice is to learn from the games of Paul Morphy and Alexander Alekhin, and try first to guess their moves, and only then you can repeat them by heart. For example, my best chess pupils knows the games of many games of Alexander Alekhin by heart. For example, firstly, you bought the book of Alexander Alekhin with the games of Alexander Alekhin. Then you tried to guess his moves. After this, you can repeat his moves by heart, and then you can repeat his moves without how to say it, blindfold game, without seeing the board. This is the last thing. If you can do it, believe me, it's a very good exercise. What else can I say? Also, I can say that it's very important to play with the players who are stronger than you, but not too much stronger. For example, it's very useful to play with players who are slightly stronger than you, because when you know that your opponent is slightly stronger than you, you understand that if you are lazy, your opponent will punish you, and you need to do your best in order to win an opponent who are slightly stronger than you. So my next advice for young players is try to play classical games with chess players who are a little bit stronger than you. Also, I can advise to have good physical, besides chess preparation. In order to be successful in chess, you must be successful in psychology. I mean that you must be ready to lose the game. Even if you lose the game, you continue believing in yourself and don't become upset. But okay, in this position, I think again everything is clear. That I think that the black must win because they have extra castle. Okay, let's look some other games. Maybe I will continue my advices and later. Okay, let's see some other games here. What can we see? Vyacheslav Zarianov, for example, how he's playing. No wonder. Okay, let's see this game from the start. E4, French defense. Exchange variation of the French defense. Probably, I think in this position, maybe bishop b5 was also a good move. But again, what can we say here? Is that with the move of bishop e3, the whites attacked c5 pawn, and the black even didn't see this threat. They played knight f6 and lost a pawn. So when you play the game, I strongly advise you to ask the question, what my opponent wants. You always must remember that during the game, not only you, but your opponent has plans. What I want to say, that white chess is very useful for us. It is because people usually knows very well what do they want. And sometimes people forget to understand what other people want to do and what do they want. And in order to be a successful chess player, you must know not only what do you want, but you also must know what your opponent wants. And some players forget about it and try to do only their plans, forgetting about the plans of your opponent. And in real life, it is the same, because in order to be a successful person in life, you must understand not only yourself and what do you want, but what other people want. And if you can do it, then you can be successful. Okay, now the white has problems with development, but maybe for them it's very good that they were able to change queens. And now the black has bad pawn structure. c3 is an interesting move. Okay. Interesting position. I think that the major drawback, the major disadvantage of white position is a bad rook on h1. So if I played for white, here I played the move. Okay, let's try to think. Can you guess how the white should play here in order to help the h1 rook to become better? I mean, in this position, I would play h4 pawn. h3 pawn goes on h4, and then rook h1 goes on h3. And with this maneuver, h4 and rook h3, you can activate your rook. So I think that f3 is not the best move. Probably h4 was also a good move. The whites, how to say it? In order to improve their position, the white needs to activate their g1 rook. If they do it, then for them it will be much easier to play here. So probably c4, bishop c4 is a possible move. If they want to play the king e2, and then maybe rook c1 or rook d1. Okay, good move. Now the black is winning. So the white was too slow, and after all, they lost their rook. Okay, I think now the black must win soon. Okay, let's see some other games. Let's see. For example, what we can say about this game. Just a moment. Let's see from the beginning. Post-mat plays for black. What can I say about it? What is this? Your opponent plays knight f6, attacking your e4 pawn. In order to defend this pawn or to go e5, the opponent plays bishop c4, losing a pawn. In order to not to do these blunders, in order not to do these mistakes, ask at least one question: what does my opponent want? Just look carefully at the last move of your opponent. Look carefully at the last move of your opponent and ask the question: why my opponent played in such way? What does he want? What my opponent wants? So my advice: always ask the question. My advice: always during the game, always look at the last move of your opponent and ask the question: what does he want? It's very easy that the black wanted to eat e4 pawn, and instead of defending it, they just lost this pawn. That is the reason why I don't like sometimes blitz games. How to say it? On the one hand, I like blitz games. On the other hand, I don't like them. I like blitz games because it is very interesting, and I don't like blitz games when players, instead of thinking deeply, becomes to play fast. So always remember that chess game is not about speed. Chess game is about the quality of your moves. And your main aim is to play as good as possible. But sometimes some players think, especially during blitz game, that their aim is to play quickly. It is not so. Your aim is to play strong and good. Okay, black. I like how the black is playing here. Yes, okay. I think that the black playing is relatively good now. Okay, what else? Bishop c5, also good move, improving the position of your bishop. You know that bishops like open diagonal and rooks like open files. So chess is also about the game about controlling squares. So it's also very important to control as much squares as possible. Okay, what else? Interesting sacrifice. Okay. Yeah, this is an interesting game now, I see, because both players has no castle, and the black is right. They try to do artificial castle. So the black is going to play king c8, and after the move king c8, the position of the king will be better. But of course, the black is much better because they have extra bishop, and that's why they must win. Yeah, but okay, now it was a mistake again. I think that the move castle e8 was a mistake because now the white has double attack against the king and the bishop without defense. So during the blitz, also I advise you also be careful with the pieces who are without defense. So in order to be good in chess, you must understand what is weakness. What is double attack? Double attack is when you attack two weaknesses at the same time. Now we can see that the queen attacks two weaknesses at the same time. On the one hand, we can see a weakness on c5 because bishop c5 is without defense, and the king is open. Okay, let's see further. Interesting game because both. And now, what is it? It's a mistake. Okay, it's a good move. It's an end game. I think now the black needs to activate their rook. Let's see another game. It's also end game, but here the black will win because they have extra pawns. Okay, let's see another game. For example, this game. Just a moment. Okay. What can we say about this position? So first of all, in order to understand who is better, so first you must understand who has extra material. So we can see that in terms of material, it is equal. then we must understand which king is more weak. So if one side has a good king who is safe, and another side and another king is. But here the white wants to do the checkmate on h1. I think castle g1 is a very clever move, because now the white is going to play rook h1 with a checkmate. Yes, interesting game. White played better. Who it was? Okay, let's see this game quickly. How it happened. Where was the mistake of black? Black forgot about the king, about the safety of their king. It was Summer on Fire. Interesting game, Summer on Fire. Так, let's see some other games. Thanks to Summer on Fire, he played a really interesting game, despite the fact that it was blitz game. Okay, what else can we say? Maybe some other interesting games. Maybe, let's see, this game. We already saw this game. This was really interesting. And what about this game? Oh, again the black without queen. But okay, now it will be bishop a4. Bishop a4. Interesting how it was. I wonder. It's a fork, double attack on the king and on the castle. But now the bishop played bishop c7, and the white forgot that the opponent can eat the bishop in return. Always you need to do mistake test. What is mistake test? It's when you do your move not on the board, but you do your move in your mind, in your head, and you ask the question before doing your move on the board. You do the move in your head and ask the question: how my opponent will play in return on my move? Can my opponent will eat me or attack me in return on my move? Call it mistake test. So it is my the next advice. I advise to young players during the game, always do mistake test. What I mean by mistake test? Let me repeat again. Maybe some of you already understand what I mean. But by mistake test, I mean that it's a habit not to do when your hand want to do the move. Mistake test is the habit to not to do a move, but push your hand back and do your move not on the board, but in your head, in your mind. And then ask the question: how my opponent will play in return on my move? Can my opponent eat me, or maybe attack me, or do some combination in return to my move? For example, if you play about Soviet Union masters, in the Soviet Union, this mistake test was called Blumenfeld rule. And according to Blumenfeld rule, the Soviet Union chess players, before doing their move, they wrote their move on the paper. And then, when they wrote this move on the paper, then they checked whether the opponent will have combination in return of this move. Okay, let's see this game. It's again Alekhin defense. The black has less space, but on the other hand, they have almost no weaknesses. It's a pin, okay. For blitz game, I also advise you to solve tactics, to solve puzzles, because the people who are good at tactics, they usually rather good in blitz. Okay. I think now maybe the white should do short castle. E4 is also a possible move. Probably e6 is coming. E6 and bishop e7 was also possible. You know, the common rule is that don't play the same piece twice. I mean, at the beginning, try to play one piece, one move. So it's very, very simple rule. At the beginning of the game, try to play with each piece one time. One move with the bishop, one move with the knight, one move with the central pawn, and then a short castle or long castle. That is, I would say, the principles of openings. I think that the black need to solve the problem of the bad bishop on f8. It is also a very interesting move, very interesting rule. It is the rule of my bad piece. So again, in his book, Mark Dvoretsky, as I told you before, Mark Dvoretsky is a very good, was one of the best chess coaches in the world. And in his books, Mark Dvoretsky calls this rule as the rule of the most bad piece. So you see your position and ask the question, which my piece stays worst of all? Which my piece stays bad? Okay, we can ask this question and answer. So which black piece stays here very bad? I think that bishop f8 stays very bad, so we need to activate him. So how we can activate the f8 bishop? For example, by playing g6 and then bishop g7, and then of course short castle. But of course now they saved the knight. But anyway, we need to improve the position of the bishop. So during the game, if there is no threats, no attacks, just ask the question which my piece stays bad and how to improve the position of this piece. So in this case, just g6 and bishop g7 would be a good idea. I think so. Okay, let's see some other games here. For example, this one. Yes, I think now, okay, what is it? What is it? I wonder why they didn't eat the bishop on d6. I think that the white should eat the bishop on d6. I called it free food. When I have lessons with young players, especially beginners, I called it free food. So all my beginners, I asked them to ask the question, where is my free food? And the free food of white was the move was bishop on d6. So it's very important to have a good vision of the board and to see who can eat whom and who can attack whom. Okay, let's see a few games, and after that, probably I will will say a few words maybe about myself and about why chess is useful in life, and also maybe we'll speak about the general principles of success. Because why I like chess is that because in order to become a successful chess player, you must know the principles of success. And the principles of success, they are the same for many fields. So there is even some phrase that the person who can be successful in one field, he can be successful in another field. So for example, if you can be successful in chess, you can be successful, for example, in learning English, or you can be successful in mathematics, or you can be successful in business. And to some extent, it is true. Because in order to be successful, you must be a person who knows how to manage your time. If you're successful in chess, you must be able to control your emotions, especially during mistakes or when you lose the game. If you want to be successful in chess or in life, you must be able to analyze your activities. I think that an ability to analyze your games is very important, not only in chess but in life. Because in life we do a lot of actions, but we very rarely, very seldom, we analyze what we did. And our aim is to be able to answer the question, why did it happen? For example, if I play chess, why do I play chess? If I go to school, why do I go to school? You must clearly understand why do you do something, and what do you want from this activity. But okay, let's look at this game. We can see the pin on the black diagonal. But now the black played very good move, and now they have extra piece. I think that the black is winning here. Probably the next move, maybe the bishop. Yes, the black is winning here. Good play. Okay, let's see some other games. Just 32 minutes left until the end of the match, because you can see here how many minutes left. So in 32 minutes, the match will finish. In 32 minutes, the match will finish. Okay, what can we see here? Yeah, let's see some other games. For example, Kate09 from Moscow Club. So probably it's a girl who is playing here. Kate09 plays against Gerard Rafik. Okay, interesting. So it's also an interesting thing. Do girls and boys play differently? It's also a very interesting question. As you know, the strongest woman in the history of chess was Judith Polgar. I think that it is a legendary woman, a world champion, Judith Polgar. He was the first woman who was able to play successfully against men. Moreover, Judith Polgar was able to become among top 10 best men in the world. Can you imagine a woman? Judith Polgar was among top 10 best players in the world, even among men. But probably it is the only example when a woman became very successful in chess. But tell you honestly, I think that women also play chess very well, and maybe one of the reasons why it is difficult for women to compete with the best men is because if you look at boys and girls, for example, in our club, yeah, I work in the Intellect Chess Club. We have around maybe 200 pupils, and among 200 pupils in the Intellect Chess Club, maybe we have around maybe 15 or 20 girls, or maybe 20 girls. So we have only one girl among 10 pupils. We have only one girl and maybe 10 boys. So of course, under these conditions, if we had equal number of boys and girls, I'm sure that the number of strong chess players from girls would be much better. That's why I think on the example of Judith Polgar, we can see that that woman can play successfully in chess as well. But okay, let's see how Kate is playing. And the Kate proves my idea that the girls plays chess also, can play chess also very well. But okay, we see that the Kate knows the opening. He knows how to do. So I like how Kate plays here. But okay, let's see what else. What will happen later? I think h4 move is a dangerous move because the Kate can play knight g6, for example. Maybe knight g6 was also a good move. Because now the black managed to open h file. Now I think that the castle h8 is happy to have an open file. Okay, I think that the black is going to do a long castle. And after long castle to have two rooks on h file. Okay, I think knight c4 is a good move. Bishop g5 is also a good move. Okay. What do we have? Kate is a good girl, please. The Kate is playing relatively well. Very actively. It's a pin. Kate is good. I think Kate 09 was a good game also. Kate 09 played against Jarab Rafik. Probably let me Jarab Rafik. Well, Kate, I like your playing. She played very solidly, even I would say creatively and very actively. So what can we see on this game? Pin, then f4 in order to fight for the center. Then e5, very good move because activating g2 bishop. Then pin. Then Kate won the piece. Queen f3 is a good move, creating a threat on b7. h5 was a bad move, of course. Probably the black should play c6 in order to defend from b7 threat. Okay. Of course, black played not well, but I like the way how Kate played this game. So thank you to the Kate. She showed a very good game and proved my point that in chess both man and woman can play good. And it's not about the gender of the chess player. It's about just his playing. I like the phrase of Confucius. Probably you know that Confucius was a great philosopher from China, and the Confucius said, it's a great philosopher from China, that it doesn't matter the color of the cat. It's much important that this cat can eat the mice, because as you know that the main function of the main aim of cats was to be able to eat mice, and that's a good expression. It doesn't matter the color of the cat is not so important. It doesn't matter the color of the cat. It's much more important that the cat can catch mice, can eat mice. It's the same here. It doesn't matter the gender of the chess player. It's much more important that he can play strong. He or she can play strong. Okay, let's see some other games. So thank you to the Kate for the good game. What can we see here? Who is playing? Arkadan plays against Apets. Who is it? Arkadan. Okay. So it's an endgame, and the white attacked f7 pawn. Probably yes, bishop e6 is a good move. Now maybe knight e6 was a bad move. Okay, and I think that the white is going to win because they have a passed pawn. Maybe a rook d2, c6 is coming. Also c7, and then probably castle d8. You know, as I told you before, at the end game, two rules are very important. The first rule is that the king is a hero. So according to this rule, the white should play the king f2. What does it mean that at the end game the king is a hero? So in the middle game and also in the beginning of the game, of course, the safety of the king is very important. It means that in the middle game, the king must have a lot of defense. And why? Who can tell me why at the end game the king can be a hero and we can activate him, and why in the middle game we should defend our king as much as possible? And the answer is very simple. It's because in the middle game the king has a lot of enemies, and that's why we need to defend him. And at the end game, the king has two little enemies. So, for example, in this example, we can see, for example, that the black is so weak that the white king can go in the center and help the rook to win the game. So remember the first rule. At the end game, the king is the hero and he can go in the center and helps his army. And the second rule, at the end game, pass pawns wants to become queens. Pawns wants to become queens. Okay, also good game. The whites won because they followed these two rules. As you can see here, the king is a hero and a c7 pawn is almost a queen. I think the winning plan is very easy. For example, the king f6, then g4, g5, g6, and g2 pawn will become a queen. Okay, good game. Thank you for the game. Let's see some other games. For example, this one is also interesting. It's Arkadan against Crazy Shakhmatist. Crazy Shakhmatist, in Russian language, Shakhmatist means chess player. So this nickname Crazy Shakhmatist, it means that it's crazy chess player. Crazy chess player against Arkadan. Okay, funny nickname. So it's not Crazy Shakhmatist, it's Crazy chess player. Okay, what can we see? Okay, both players plays solidly. f4. So I think that the black wants to attack on the king side. I think dc, d6 pawn beats on c5. Probably in this position, the black wants to play either bishop h3 or bishop g4. Probably bishop g4 was also interesting move. Bishop g4 with an idea of knight d4, because bishop g4 was a pin. Maybe knight g4 is possible now. An idea to maybe bishop g2 and then queen h2, almost checkmate. Not checkmate, but a good attack. So how to defend? How to defend? Because now h2 pawn is in trouble due to the threat of bishop g2 and queen h2. So it's not easy to play for white here. Now the black has very good attack. Let's see this game. I think that Arkadan plays relatively good. This is the second game when I see that Arkadan plays good. So I think that Arkadan probably is a strong chess player. So it's English opening. He plays aggressively. He wants to attack on the king side. Yes, good playing from Arkadan. Queen e8. And so he's ready to sacrifice c7 pawn in order to have an attack. f4, interesting move. Probably here also bishop g4 was a good move. And queen g4. Oh, knight d4 is a good move. Because with the help of this move, he diminishes the number of defenders. So from this point of view, let me tell me the words of Garry Kasparov. Because I listened to Kasparov lectures in English, and I like his expression that according to Kasparov, your main aim is to have a crucial advantage, is to have an advantage on the crucial part of the board, is to have an advantage on the most important part of the board. For example, here the most important part of the board is the king side. So the main aim of black is to have more attackers on the king side than your opponent has defenders. So your main aim is to have more attackers than defenders on the most important part of the board. That's why I like the move of Arkadan when he played the move knight d4, because f3 knight was a defender, and c6 knight was not an attacker. So he tries to diminish the number of defenders with the help of the piece who was not an attacker. That's why I like the way how Arkadan is playing in this game. But probably, of course, he could play somewhere stronger. Let's see where he could play stronger. Okay, but now probably, yes, if the queen h5 is also a good move, because now there is a threat of discovered check. Probably the white wants to play, not probably, the black wants to play knight e3, winning the queen. Okay, now let's see how to play now. Now, if queen 3 is impossible because the black queen is in danger, yes, castle h1 is also a very reasonable move, I would say. If the black plays knight h2, then the white will play the king g2. And very interesting sacrifice from Arkadan. Good play. He sacrificed the rook in order to have an attack. It's like a Paul Morphy style, I would say. Maybe knight f2 is an interesting move, because now the knight is in danger. He can play, for example, knight f2, then maybe rook f8, then queen g5. But knight f2 is impossible because of the check on e7. So unfortunately, knight f2 is a bad move, because, as I said before, you always should pay attention to the threats, to the plans of your opponent. And the opponent wants, of course, to do the move of, knight e7. Interesting game. Let's see this game. I like this game because we see that in this game the white has extra material, but on the other hand, the white king is in danger. It's very interesting. What is more important, the material or the weaknesses of white king? Because if the white is able to defend, then of course they will win. Queen g4 is a reasonable move, because any exchange will be good for white. So you know when it is good to change queens. I advise you to remember this rule. So if you want to attack, try to keep queens on the board, and vice versa. If you want to defend, if you need to defend, try to. What is happening? What is it? How it happened? It was a threat of the mate on h5. Check. What is it? Why queen g3? He could play, for example, queen f3. Okay, but Arkadan is a good chess player. So let's notice this interesting game. Who was playing? It was crazy. It was a really crazy game. Crazy game from crazy chess players. Do you see the nickname Crazy Shakhmatist? Crazy Shakhmatist means crazy chess player, and crazy chess player showed us crazy game. Interesting. Okay, Crazy Shakhmatist, crazy chess player played against Arkadan. Thank you to both chess players. I think this game was really very interesting. I enjoyed this game a lot. Of course, there was some mistakes, but it was very creative and beautiful game from my point of view, because Arkadan decided to win, to attack anyway. And in order to have an attack, he was ready to sacrifice material. Really, I enjoyed this game a lot. So let me again say thank you to both players, to Crazy Shakhmatist, and especially to Arkadan for very interesting and creative game. So do you see this? That Arkadan was ready to sacrifice the rook in order to have an attack. It's some kind of Mikhail Tal style, I would say. Mikhail Tal is a world champion, and he's famous because he liked to sacrifice pieces in order to have an attack. Sometimes his sacrifice was not right, and modern computers was able to prove that some of his sacrifice was wrong, but his opponents was not able to play with him, even with his wrong sacrifices. So his style was very interesting. Okay, I hope that many games will be like this one. So I want to notice that some of the players are really played very interesting. Also, we can notice Arkadan playing, Crazy Shakhmatist was playing rather good. Also, Kate09 was playing very interesting. Some other players, Summer on Fire, is playing very interesting and creative. And other players was also played. So I like that, despite the fact that it is just blitz, and as I told you before, during the blitz, the probability of mistakes is very high. Nevertheless, some of the players are able to show very interesting games. So I am impressed a little bit. I am impressed that young players sometimes are able to play strong even during these games. So for me, it's a very good piece of news. But okay, this position is not very interesting because Arkadan is going to win again. So maybe I wonder how old is he, but his play is very solid. Good. Yeah, no, I'm not going to see this game because, of course, it's clear that in this position Arkadan is going to win. Queen G7, maybe it's possible move. But anyway, I believe that Arkadan will win here because he has the extra queen against the rook, and also his playing is also strong and solid. Okay, let's see some other games. Probably we'll find some interesting games with lots of fire and resistance. Oh, Kate09 against is playing against Mohammed 2006. And so what can we say? Unfortunately, in this game, Kate can lose the game. But of course, I liked how Kate played in her previous game. The white is right because the white has extra piece, and as I told you before, when you have extra piece, you need to change your pieces. So, for example, if the white is able to change rooks, the position of black will be absolutely winning. But even now it is absolutely winning, but it will be much easier to win. So let me again remind you basic rules. When you have extra material, try to change your pieces as much as possible. And vice versa, if you are lack of some piece, for example, you are without bishop, or I think that Kate maybe was disappointed, and that's why in this game she played not so strong as in the previous game. It's again about be able to control your emotions. It's very from my own experience, I can tell you that it's very difficult to play strong when your position is bad. And again, let me remind you some phrases, some words from Garry Kasparov. And Garry Kasparov said that what is the difference? What distinguishes? I mean, what is the difference between strong player and ordinary player? And the difference is that what distinguishes strong player from an ordinary player is his level of resistance. Is his level of resistance in bad position. It's very easy to play strong when your position is good, but it's very difficult to play strong when your position is bad. And strong players are able to play strong even when their position is bad. And when your position is bad, of course, it's very hard to play strong. First of all, it's very difficult to find good moves when your position is bad. Secondly, from psychological point of view, it's also very difficult. But okay, let's see some other games. It's only 8 minutes left until the end of the match. So maybe, and now we can see the score. Moscow club has 273 points, and Levan has 248 points. So it means that Moscow club is slightly winning, and it means that the players from the opponents of Moscow club even resisted very good. So it's almost equal game. Of course, the Moscow club is slightly better, but not too much. So let's say thank you to the chess players from Beirut, because the chess players from Beirut was able to resist against Moscow club. Because as you know, Moscow is the center of chess, and in Moscow there are a lot of very strong chess players. Of course, thank you to the chess players of Beirut for the good game and for the fact that they were able to resist against strong Moscow chess players. So okay, only 7 minutes left. Maybe Beirut has some, maybe small, but nevertheless they have some small chances to equalize the game, the match. Arkadan, I think he likes playing. It is his style. You see, he tries to implement the same plan as in the previous game. So again, he plays similar opening, and he wants to play probably queen h5. Then pawn f5 goes on f4. Then bishop h3, and then knight g4. Then knight d5, and to do the checkmate on h2. Interesting. But okay, now the game goes differently. The black has okay. If you don't mind, let me see a little bit the games of Arkadan, because from my point of view, it's a relatively strong player. So it's much better to watch games of strong players than weak ones. Tell you honestly, I want to watch games when one chess player do a lot of mistakes and another player has, for example, extra queen. Then it's not interesting at all. But when both players play strongly, of course, it's much more interesting to watch these games. I think the white has a strong knight on d5. Maybe now the white is right. They're thinking what to do, whether to beat on c8, whether to beat the pawn on c7 or to beat on h4. Arkadan again wants to organize attack on the king side. Probably he wants to play queen h4 and to create threats on the white king. So again, Arkadan is ready to sacrifice material in order to have some attacking chances against white king. It's again, I would say, maybe Paul Morphy style or maybe Mikhail Tal style. I don't know whether you know Paul Morphy. I think you must know Paul Morphy. And I already before told you about his games, that in his games, Paul Morphy, as Arkadan, was ready to sacrifice pieces in order in order to have an attack on the opponent's king. So again, let me remind you that how to understand which position is better. In order to understand which position is better, you need to pay attention at least to the three factors. So the first factor is material. What is material? Material is who has more pieces. The second factor is the position of the kings. So if the position of some king is weak, if some king is weak and another king is in absolute safety, of course, it's also a very important factor. And the last important factor to estimate the position who is better is, of course, the activity of your pieces. So if all your pieces are developed and they stays on their very good places, then of course it influences the estimation of their position. So to sum up, try to have a safe king. So your king must be in a safe position. Try to activate your pieces and also try to have more material. For example, to eat free food. Oh, very interesting game. So both players want to attack, but of course knight g2 was a mistake. Very creatively, but sometimes not the best moves. I think knight g2 was a mistake. f7, interesting move. So probably rook f7, king f7, and then it's a fork. Good play. Maybe bishop h3 is possible now. I wonder, in this game, both players want to attack. I think that Arkadan was ready to attack, and Crazy Shakhmatist was also wants to attack. It's very funny and interesting to watch games when both players wants to attack. In this case, the game becomes very creative. And still now, both players wants to do the checkmate each other. So the white wants to do the checkmate, and the black also wants to do the checkmate. So it's a very interesting also phrase that the best defense is an attack. And so both players wants to play in a very attacking style, I would say. How to estimate this position? It's very, I would say, very sharp position. g5 probably is coming now. Yes, g5, check, quick king g7. Yes, very creative position. Not position, very creative game, very interesting game. So thank you to both players. Now of course, it's clear that the white is going to win. But in the whole, the game was very interesting. So let's again notice this game. So now we can say thank you a lot to the Crazy Shakhmatist, first of all, but to Arkadan again. Both players play very interesting and creatively, I would say. Okay, let's see some other games. Thank you to both players. I see that some of the games are really interesting. So I'm very glad because I hope that some of these players in the future to become very strong players. I hope so. Maybe some others will become professional chess coaches, and other players will learn a lot of useful skills which help them in a real life. As I said before, it is an ability to do right decisions and to have a good memory, concentration, time management skills, and an ability to control your emotions. But okay, it's just 10 minutes left, and in 10 minutes the match will be over. And just 5 minutes, 5 seconds, and the match will finish. Oh, just 2 seconds. The match is finishing now. Okay, that's all. The game is over. The match is over. But okay, some matches still continue. Some players continue to play. So what we can say, the match finished. We can see that the total score is, wow, 300. against 272 points. So let's congratulate Moscow Club with the win. So we can say that Moscow Club won, and the total score is 300 points, and Beirut has 272 points. So what we can say? Also, we can say that Moscow Club won, and the best players was Arkadan. Arkadan gained 60 points. Then Apets from Moscow Club has 32 points, and Crazy Shakhmatist has 24 points. Also, Mohammed 2006 also have 24 points. Vyacheslav Zырянов have 22 points. So very interesting games. First of all, I would like to say thank you to both clubs, both to Moscow Club and both to the players of Beirut. Also, I was impressed with the play of Arkadan. Crazy Shakhmatist was also very good. Apets also played well. Mohammed also, I would like to say thank you to the Kate 09, because some of her games was also very interesting. So thank you for watching this event. Let's congratulate Moscow Club and also Beirut for a good game, for a good match. I hope that this game was very useful for all players. And as for me, I really enjoyed the time because some of the players played very interesting and creative. So thank you for watching us, and let's have a break. And maybe in 25 minutes, another match will start. So around in 25 minutes, we'll start the match between Moscow Club and chess players from Israel. And if to be more correct, it will be chess players from the city, from Israel city, Ramat Gan. So let's have a break, and in 25 minutes, I will continue commenting the match between junior Moscow team and the junior team of Ramat Gan. This Ramat Gan is the city of Israel. Thank you for watching me, and let's continue in 25 minutes. Good luck with chess and in life. Thank you.